Good morning. We are going to look at a negative one another this morning from the book of James. James 4, verse 11 reads, "Do not speak evil against one another." The literal Greek is from the word kata laleo, to speak, kata against. So to speak against. Now, depending upon the version you have, it may say speak against, it might say slander. But the idea is here kind of carried out to speak, and it emphasizes, the ESV does, evil against one another. Brothers, and that's important. Your brothers. Why are you talking bad about one another? Why are you making moral accusations against one another? The one who speaks against a brother or judges his brother speaks evil against the law and judges the law. But if you judge the law, you're not a doer of the law, but a judge. What's all that mean at the end? How does the law get involved? Here's how. When you speak evil against your brother, you become a law to yourself. It's like you're saying it was wrong to me that you did X. Rather than letting the law be the arbiter of right and wrong, letting God's character be the arbiter of right and wrong, letting God's will, as defined in Scripture, be the arbiter of right and wrong, we often personalize something, take it in, and then we become the adjudicator of the law. We take that in our hand, and the danger is that we end up wielding it in ways that are more self-serving than they are God-serving. That I don't start with God's law being broken, but I start with, you hurt and wounded me, and now I'm going to speak evil against you, and then I'm going to try to get the law behind me in some way. I'm going to retrofit how what you did was wrong and sort of turn it into my own little law court where I have to defend now my moral judgment of you. Be careful here. Be careful and be slow to make an accusation against someone else. So the point isn't that we look and we're never able to say someone did wrong or someone did right. But there's a great caution here that we have to be very careful in this idea of stepping out and all of a sudden we're wielding the law of God. And sometimes we can wield the law like a club in our own hand, and that doesn't make us righteous. In fact, what happens then is when he gets to the end of that verse, but if you judge the law, you're not a doer of the law, but a judge. All of a sudden, you start using the law, and you start using it for your own purposes. You start using God's revelation for your own purposes, rather than sitting under it and being subservient to it. So be careful. Be careful that you don't use God's law as a kind of beginning point or a club in your hand against another for your purposes. Be slow to speak against one of your brothers. Not quick. Not quick. Be slow to speak against one of your brothers. And take this admonition seriously. Don't speak evil against one another, brothers. After all, you're brothers. Your sisters. You're supposed to be edifying, not over against. May the Lord encourage you today and give us circumspect tongues.